Cooper family had just moved into an old house on the outskirts of town. The house was spacious but a little run down, and there was a massive antique armoire in the nursery. At first, little Lily was delighted with her new room, but after a few nights she began to complain. "Mom, Dad, there's someone looking at me from the armoire," she said at breakfast, her voice shaking. Her mother smiled, patting her daughter on the head. "It's just your imagination, dear. The armoire is just furniture." Her father, not paying attention to her daughter's words, assured her that there was no one in the armoire and suggested that she leave the night light on. But Lily continued to insist. "I hear it opening at night. There's someone in there." Her parents brushed her words off, until one night her mother was awakened by a soft creaking sound. It sounded like the wooden doors of the armoire slowly opening. She walked up to Lily's room and peered inside. The room was dark, but the dim light from the nightlight illuminated the slightly open doors of the closet. "Lily must have forgotten to close them," she muttered, carefully closing the closet. But the next morning, the doors were open again. The next night, Lily screamed again. Her parents burst into her room expecting to see the usual childish fear, but what they saw made them freeze. The closet was wide open and a thick, dark gloom was pouring from inside, unnaturally dense, as if it were not just a shadow, but something alive. Shadows began to crawl out of the closet, writhing like snakes. They slid along the floor, climbed the walls and ceiling, forming bizarre, frightening outlines. "Mom, they're whispering!" Lily screamed, hiding under the blanket. Sarah, Lily's mother, froze, her breathing quickening. She heard whispers coming from all sides. They were strange, inhuman words, sounding like hisses or moans, but they filled the room, becoming louder and louder. Lily's father, John, had a hard time mustering up his courage and ran to the closet. "Stop it," he shouted, slamming the doors. But the shadows didn't disappear. They continued to move around the room as if ignoring the boundaries of reality. Sarah picked Lily up and retreated to the door. "It's impossible," she whispered, feeling the cold coming from the shadows. One of the shadows stopped by the bed and, as if it had a mind, slowly turned its head towards Lily. "She's looking at me," Lily whispered softly, burying herself in her mother's arms. Suddenly the whispers became louder, merging into words that seemed understandable. "Leave us, or become part of us." John took an abrupt step towards the closet and slammed the doors shut with force. The room was plunged into silence. But there were marks on the floor, long, claw-like scratches leading from the closet to Lily's bed. After that night, the family tried to avoid mentioning the closet. John chained the doors shut, securing them with a heavy padlock, and Lily moved to sleep in her parents' room. But it didn't help. Every night, quiet creaking and whispers came from Lily's room. Sarah woke up from the cold, as if seeping through the walls, and Lily complained of dreams in which someone called her name. One night, Lily woke up before her parents. A thin voice, barely audible but strangely familiar, called her. "Lily, come here." The girl couldn't resist. She left her parents' room and slowly walked to her own. The closet, wrapped in chains, was already open, the doors creaking quietly, as if inviting her inside. "You came?" whispered voices from the darkness. The next morning, Sarah and John found the bed empty. The door to Lily's room was wide open, the chains from the wardrobe were lying on the floor, and the doors were wide open again. "Lily?" Sarah screamed, looking inside the wardrobe. But there was nothing inside but emptiness. However, from the dark depths came a quiet, cold whisper. "He's with us now." The wardrobe slammed shut by itself. Since then, the house seemed empty. Sarah and John left it, but those who heard about the house and tried to look inside claimed that sometimes the whispers of a little girl calling someone's name came from the wardrobe. The shadows continued to move inside, as if waiting for their next victim.